Welcome to ICEF Monitor. I'm here with Kathryn Kohut from English USA. Thank you for coming, Kathryn. Can you please tell me a little bit more about your organization?
Sure. English USA is a membership association of over 350 intensive English programs in the United States. Formerly, we were going under the name of American Association of Intensive English Programs, or AAIEP, so some people still know us as that. Recently, we've been rebranding as English USA so that it's, we're more visible, people understand what we do. I like to explain it in that we are the similar association to other associations around the world, such as English UK or Languages Canada.
Lovely. And how can agents benefit from your organization? How can agents benefit from English USA?
Sure. Well, first of all, with our member programs, we offer professional development and advocacy on behalf of our members. However, with agents, the majority of our programs do work with agents or want to work with agents and don't currently. So we are an information source for the industry. Our website has detailed profiles of each member program. Agents can search by specific programs, youth programs, to find a program. Also, most importantly, by state, because especially if agents are new to working in the U.S., trying to understand, where to find an English program or how to find an English program in a specific state can be challenging. So our website and our profiles can really help agents with that. And finally, personally, I love, answering questions. I love talking to agents and just, answering questions about the U.S. and intensive English programs.
Let's talk about some key policy issues going on right now.
Sure. Our organization tries to really stay on top of this, tries to advocate on behalf of intensive English programs. So currently in the United States, the three main key issues would be, number one, the ramifications of the Accreditation Act of IEPs. Number two, the conditional admissions and bridge guidance from SEVP. And then number three, the vacation policy guidance, also from SEVP. So the first issue is the IEP Accreditation Act. Now, this was an act of law that passed in December 2010, signed by President Obama. It went into effect December 2011, which required IEPs that were not already accredited to become accredited. So they essentially, from 2010 to 2011, they had 1 year to apply for accreditation, and then the law allowed for 2 more years to achieve that accreditation. So December 14th of 2013 was the deadline by which programs needed to obtain the accreditation. Now you can imagine that with so many IEPs applying for accreditation at the same time, it was quite overwhelming to the 2 accrediting bodies. So there were still some programs who were quote-unquote in the pipeline. And as long as they were making good progress toward accreditation, if they did not receive it by that date, they will soon. And so that has been fine. But of course, there have been many IEPs that have been denied accreditation, which means that they would receive a notice of intent to withdraw from SEVP. Now, the interesting thing about the Accreditation Act, and it's almost like we're only kind of starting to see the ramifications. The accrediting body saw the ramifications quite, right in the beginning, because they got influx of 100 or 150 applications where usually they might get 25. But now what's interesting when we look at it is that the law is such that it is quite difficult for a new private intensive English program to start up in the U.S. And the reason for that is that the law requires the accreditation, of course, but in order to even start the accreditation process, the program must be operating for at least 1 or 2 years. And then they can apply for the accreditation, and the accreditation process might take at least 1 year, maybe 2. But during this already possibly 4 years, they're not authorized by SEVP to issue the I-20 for the F1 visa, so they're essentially not able to offer full-time English courses. So it's very difficult to start an IEP, which means that the value of the current private IEPs has increased, almost overnight. And we've also seen the trend that many private IEPs are able to expand locations, multiple locations in the U.S., because the accreditation, it allows for that quite easily. It's just difficult for a new company to come in and start. an IEP. Different for a university. University IEPs can start because they're regionally accredited, so it's a different situation. But we find it to be an interesting trend, and we're very curious to see how this is going to play out in the private IEP industry.